always knew there was a chance that it would happen, but I thought it would be further down the line. I'm surprised that it's happening now, but I'm very happy that it is. Listen, there's advantages and disadvantages for both of us. I'm naturally the bigger man, but I'm going to have to come down to a weight which I've never been before. He's naturally a smaller man, but he's going to have all the energy. He's not going to have to do any weight cut. So I think it's pretty fair. 60% is enough to deal with Conor Benn in any way I see fit.
Did you ever think that this fight would ever get made?
Not like this, and not this quick, no. No.
Can we get a prediction from you, kind of, how do you see the fight playing out?
A victory.
Any way possible, or knockout, stoppage, or does it not matter?
I think I'll get a knockout.
Probably going to end up being the biggest fight we've ever been involved with. You've seen the response, the mainstream media. This fight just appeals across so many different generations, and I think you're going to get a thriller on October the 8th. Look, Conor Benn's at a clear disadvantage in this fight in terms of the weight, but we don't know how much that £3 is going to hurt Chris Eubank. It's definitely going to affect him. It's fair, the rehydration is fair, and I think that was very important, particularly from Tony Sims and the Conor Benn team, to make sure that we understand the disadvantage of this fight, but let's make sure it's fair in the respect of it's not too big a mountain to overcome, and it's not. And we believe Conor Benn can win this fight.
Is this the most unique fight that I've been involved in? Absolutely. Let's make no. You tell me any other storyline that compares to this one in any sport. Forget boxing, any sport. Forget it. You can't find one. And if they do, I'll pay you several $1 million for it.
What do you reckon Chris Eubank Jr.'s best attribute in this fight is, first and foremost?
Obviously size for a start. He's a good athlete. He's a smart fighter. He's obviously got the benefit of being 2 weights heavier. We're expecting an hard fight. It's never just because of the dad's fights. It's, an hard fight's what's going to happen. So even if they was both middleweights, it was going to be an hard fight. But Conor feels comfortable in moving up to that weight. So it's going to be a great fight.
It's going to be a great event. You've obviously got the dads involved in the build-up. The personalities similar to the dads in terms of how they're gonna clash, and it's gonna be a real nostalgic one for the fans. So it's captured the people's attention, and they're looking forward to seeing it.
How does Chris win that fight?
He wins by being Chris. Everyone's seen what Chris can do, and I think Conor's got more to prove. Chris, I think it's, within 6 rounds, Chris is going to be too much. And it's going to be a nice event, but realistically, the fight, I think, is going to be very one-sided.
When there's that much of a size difference, you've got to go with a bigger man. I've never even seen Chris Eubank really bothered by a shot. And he's fought, big punches, George Groves, some big boys. So I'm not sure if Conor, even though he is explosive, he's electrifying, he's intense. I'm not sure if he'd be able to make up that size difference. I think Eubank would be too big for him.
It's great. It's iconic, really. The children of 2 of the greatest British boxers at the time, of Eubank Senior and Nigel Benn. It'll be a sellout. The O2. It'll be brilliant to watch, and it's a great move for both them guys. It'll be a big fight. They'll make a lot of money from it. Conor Benn, if he puts in a good performance and don't get the decision, he can move back down. Eubank Jr., he's probably got a little bit more pressure on himself, being the bigger man. I probably would think, if I'm thinking logically, I think the bigger man has the advantage. You'd probably say him as a favourite going into it. But the form that Conor Benn's in at the minute, the way he's knocking people out, knocking people over, he's got that ferocious style. It's going to be a great fight. Forget who it's Eubank and Conor Benn and the names that they bring. It'll be a great fight stylistically anyway, between them two.
Just neutral. I'll be watching it as a fan, but I think if the extra £4 that Eubank's meant to lose, because they're saying that 156 doesn't take too much off him, I think it could be quite dangerous. I think it could be a repeat of Golovkin versus Brook. But of course, Eubank doesn't hit as hard as Golovkin, but he is spiteful and he's not feeling sorry for no one in there. But then again, Conor Benn can bang and he's very explosive, and apparently he puts on 20 pounds off the weight and he's practically a super middleweight anyway. So, but that advantage is only an advantage for the smaller guys he's fighting. It won't be an advantage, against Chris Eubank. So, listen, if they're confident. Go in there, do your thing. For me, it's a money grab, and why not? We're all in the sport to grab some money. So, they're paying off their dad's names. Listen, go for it, man.